weather's nice again today. I guess that heat wave is going to be coming soon, that's what they say. Although there was a warning initially where eventually they dropped it, so it didn't actually last that long. And what was going on in the world today? I guess the first one I read, this one here says, Scott's mom's horror after hooded creep uses drone to film daughter playing. A Scots mom has issued a warning to parents after a hooded creep terrorized her daughter with a drone. Cheryl Molesky, 36, has contacted police after her little girl came running into their house on Castle Milk Road in Kings Park, Glasgow, in tears on Sunday evening around 5 p.m. The 8-year-old girl was playing in the front garden with her two cousins when the small unmanned aircraft, which has a camera attached, arrived and started flying nearby. The children went through to the back garden to get away from it, but it followed them, before doing the same a third time when they tried to get away from it again. And the person says, because of that, I haven't been able to sleep all night thinking about it, and it has made me feel uncomfortable. My daughter and her two cousins were playing, and there was a drone that came into my garden not far from them. Usually in these stories, a lot of people say the drone was, quote, spying on them and so forth, when in reality, the person is not even anywhere near them. But she says specifically here, it says the drone followed them and hovered over them in the trampoline. She showed us how high it was, and it was definitely very low. They then went back to the front garden, and when the drone followed them a third time, they came running crying to the house to tell us. By the time Cheryl got outside, the drone had flown away. And according to this, it says the neighbors also saw a drone and a man that was controlling it with a hoodie. It's almost very stereotypical, huh? But it makes you wonder too whether or not, if it was a drone, for example, it could be potentially the person was just doing nothing. They were just out there filming the scenery. But it even says here, like she said, it could be totally innocent, but you can never be too careful when children are involved. So unfortunately, there's no actual video footage of it to actually verify it. Because even from reading this is a little confusing. It sounded like it was the kids that ran in and basically told her, from what I gather here anyways. Because in some ways, it makes me wonder if it's just media hysteria, where somebody hears it so much, so then when you see it afterwards, you automatically assume it's spying on me and so forth. Kind of like that other story, if you guys remember, where it was literally a toy drone, it seemed like, that crashed, I don't know, on someone's lawn in the nighttime. And they were worried of who flew this. You were spying on the person's window, stuff like that. I highly doubt it. Just the fact that it was a, quote, toy drone. It was so dark at night. I mean, good luck seeing anything. If anything, maybe it was just out of control, I would imagine. And it made me think of that in a different way as well, and reading stuff like this. Apparently, I guess this is a thing still. It says here, is Canada a racist country? 1/3 of respondents in a new study says yes. Most Canadians agree that Canada's diverse population makes it a better country, but on the question of whether or not Canada is a racist country, people are more divided. So apparently they did this survey where they first asked people, Canada's diversity makes it a better country, and they say here 85% of the people agree. But then when they ask, I guess, the same group of people saying Canada is a racist country, apparently according to this, it says 66% of the people disagree that it's racist, whereas 34% agree. So there's a big jump, I guess, there. But I wouldn't doubt the reason why the percentage would be all of a sudden so much higher when they ask people whether or not they think the country is racist. It's just because of the information that's out there, what they're exposed to with all the news recently. It'll probably make you say, yeah, it probably is like a racist country. And I'm one to say, well, I experience racism all the time, for example, even though there's some people saying there's no such thing. But even I would say, overall, I wouldn't say it's a, quote, racist country. If anything, again, it's more about most people actually don't do anything about it, or let's just say people in a position of power who are, say, quote, racist, nothing is done about it. So that's why I guess too, when people say, how could people do this in the past? When they read history books and all that, they killed these groups of people. Why didn't somebody say something? Don't they realize this is wrong? Well, you can see just an example, like with tech stuff, that's how it starts. People keep, I guess, pushing this one narrative. They don't research about it. They just go with it. And eventually you'll just have a group of people all labeled the same thing, and then they started coming out with things like, I guess, rules and all that, because everyone's so afraid of it, even though it's not really true, like in the big picture. Alright, see you guys later.